little text overlay. It's not visible. Should probably fix that. Alrighty. We're locked in. So I left off at some point last time, I think, working on a tune. So I'm going to just keep working on that. I can show y'all what I have. Yeah, it's the same exact case. Although I will say, Chilean, you have a far more space-efficient setup than I do, because all of mine are very... I say most of my modules are pretty wide. So HPs wise, I think you got more modules in yours than mine. Biased or based? Why not both? Alrighty. So yeah, I'll go over the patch and this setup because I know. Mic is peaking. Oh yeah, let me adjust that. Thank you for calling that out. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. You got 20. Let me see if I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess 17. Although I'm not really this one I'm not really using, so I don't know. Yours felt more dense. Anyways, so I'll go over this patch a little bit. So I'm using Bitwig for actual like arrangement and everything. So we've got the bass is being created by I guess it's not plates, it's plats. Everyone tells me it's plats, but anyways, plats is doing the bass. Taking the output of that, running it through the plasma drive to just distort the living hell out of it, and then running that through Resonant FB, which right now I'm using just the bandpass on it, which I modulate the cutoff of the well, actually it's sweeping the whole band, so it's just moving the entire band. But right now it's obviously not doing that. If I turn this CV out on Bitwig, is this the right one? No, that's the pad. Where is she? Right here. All right. So if I turn this on, if I enable this, what? Why isn't it moving? Why is she not moving? Maybe you have to. I don't know. Maybe I have some other automation that's conflicting with that. But anyways, that one of those CVs is supposed to move the make that go back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I've still got a lot of work on this tune, but at least y'all can give me your feedback. I should mention the pads are from Rings. That's basically all I got. Thanks. So yeah, the pad, this thing, I guess it's louder on this part. So this is just rings. I've got so from rings, and that's all obviously the MIDI and stuff's obviously controlled for Bitwig, but the way I've got that routed is it goes through. I think the rings goes through Oniri, which is probably one of my favorite modules, I've got to say. The pad thing sounds like a space western opening. Yeah. Like Oniri is sick. It's like it's got a bunch of stuff built in effects wise. Like you've got a filter, resonator, there's an echo, and then the ambience. I think that's just like their reverb. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but I think it's just a really, their implementation of a reverb. And then you've got why do I have the input all the way up? I maybe should. Anyways, input here is just like the raw input. Or let me zoom in. I don't know if y'all have looked at the Oniri or not, but this thing is pretty coolio. Now I'm not using it in a very complex manner. You can get pretty crazy with it, especially if you use like the looper and some other things. Can we make the lighting better here? Oh, that's maybe a little better. Come on, camera. I believe in you. Oh, hold on, I gotta stand up. All right, not really quite centered like I want it, but at least autofocus. There we go. All right, so the way this is set up, it's got I guess a couple options for oscillators. So it's got the saw, super saw, and wavetable sort of thing, kind of in one. So if I can just bring it in. So everything on the left-hand side, which is like basically either using an oscillator or it's taking the input that you put in. So here's these two here are from rings. So these two are just coming in from rings, and then that's why I have the input all the way up here. Is just that's input from rings, right? But they have built-in things like the super saw, like I showed you there. There is just a sine wave, which this sine wave must be really. I can't hear it actually. It's probably a really low octave or something. Oh, there it is. Okay. We got sine wave, and then the looper is you can basically capture in the input audio that's coming. You can do a pre or post, so you can capture what's going out of the Oniri, or you can capture everything coming in to the Oniri, right? So you got pre or post. So it's just recording. So if I record this right now, it's gonna record nothing because nothing's playing, but I could maybe just. Yeah, so the looper has like nothing in it right now because I'm not playing it. But anyways, I've been mainly using the Oniri to make the sort of ambient paddy sounds, and that's really my understanding is what it was designed for, is to make drony type sounds. So that's what I'm. So then what I then do is I take the output of that, feed it back into Bitwig, and I have yet even more. I've got this pretty cool plugin called Black Hole Immersive, which is really for like infinite long tail reverbs. Yeah, so that's kind of the setup of that guy. I'm kind of wondering though. I'm gonna turn this input down and see if. See, like even I turn it off, it just tails off forever. So if I kill the dry, so that's it without any mix. It still have the tail from Oniri. If I turn Oniri down, then you hear nothing, right? So here's echo. This is just echo from Oniri. So you can like mess around with. It's pretty crazy. I don't remember where I had those, so I'm just gonna fiddle with it. But FX Aid. Yeah, actually, I can't remember the YouTuber because I was looking for some, reverbs. Oh, I can't remember. I should know this guy's name because I'm subscribed to him. But he puts out good content. He doesn't put out like maybe he does like every few months or so. I gotta find him, but he was reviewing. Oh, Ben Jordan. I'm not sure if you've heard of Ben Jordan, but he had a basically a YouTube on a bunch of different reverbs. I think they were mostly plugins, VSTs, and this was one of the. Yeah, this was one of the ones and it was like $400 or $500 when I first saw it, and I was like, oh heck no. There is a reverb module I do want to buy, but this was on sale. I think it's only $100. So for what it is fantastic. You can get like super long tail. So if you want to go for ambient, like, and you don't mind utilizing VSTs, this is a great one. But the other, what's the module? Oh, it's made by that company that's they mostly make pedals, but they made one that is Starlab. Yes, the Starlab. That's the one. I really want that one. It looks so sick. Yes, Strymon. I don't know how you say him. How is Supermassive? Valhalla Supermassive is great. I use it. I don't have it in this one because I was using Black Hole. But for a free VST for reverb, Supermassive is absolutely fantastic. I recommend. I mean, there's no reason not to pick it up. It's free. I haven't actually tried any of their. Valhalla makes a bunch of other stuff that I hear is good. I've never purchased it. I think he might even. Oh, he did in that same video. He does recommend Supermassive. So, but I had been using it before then. $50. That's not bad. Yeah, I heard. And this could be wrong. I don't know too much about the Valhalla as a company, but I heard that at some point one of the devs was like giving tutorials on how to actually create reverbs and that sort of thing. I could be wrong. I tried to go find it. I could not find it, but I'd heard at some point that they were like, or at least one of the devs. I don't really know if it's one guy behind the company or if they're, they have multiple devs or not, but yes, Valhalla, at least Supermassive, I can say is a great plugin. In fact, I could bring it up here if we want. Let's go ahead. Actually, do I even have it installed? Oh, I do have it installed. Okay. Yeah. So in terms of UI, it's pretty dead simple. There's not a whole lot to it. In fact, let me turn off the Oniri so it's just only going through Supermassive. And you can do some like really massive, so like mute that. I had seen the video you're thinking of. I think it's just one guy. Yeah, I've never seen the video. I just heard about it. So if you have the link, definitely drop it in the general. I'd be very interested in watching that video just out of like sheer curiosity. But yeah, I like, I mean, you can see it's like very long tails. Or you can do like really short ones too. Yeah, I mean, and then this is dry. It sounds like almost like a guitar, I guess. I don't know, some sort of string plucky instrument. But yeah, if you don't have Valhalla Supermassive, definitely recommend picking it up. It's really good for a free reverb VST. It's probably my favorite. And I'm not sure if y'all have played with convolution reverbs. Those are cool too. I think I use them fairly often for things like drum. Like weirdly enough, I use them on the drums. Let me see if I can find an example. I don't know if I'm using it on these drums. Let me pick a snare. Okay, yeah, I am. But let's just do it on this guy. Okay, so we'll do, and I think Bitwig obviously has a built-in convolution reverb. Not sure about. Oh, FL Studio also does. Not sure about Ableton. I know there's a lot of Ableton users, but I can't speak to it. I don't have Ableton. But yeah, the convolution reverbs they record. What is it called? There's a word for it. My vocabulary is terrible, by the way. I'm sorry. They basically they go into these spaces and it's something response. Anyways, I don't know. They basically make a sound in whatever space, and then they record kind of like the response of that sound, so they can capture kind of how that room or giant whatever they're trying to record in. So here are all the response curves. I don't know what they're called, but you can basically put your whatever your instrument is in impulse response. There you go. Yes. So you can pick like, I want to be in this, what is this? Let's try and find one here that's interesting. I want something big. Let's see. Let's do real rooms. Church. Okay, let's put it in this church. Right, so let's turn the mix up. Now, there's not much detail on this one, but let's try and see if we can find something bigger. And sorry for that weird sweeping sound, like vacuum cleaner sound you're hearing, or whatever it is. I think that's the actually don't even know what that is. I think it's I think it's one of my LFOs. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's on the bass. Oh, I think it's because of OTT. Yeah, well, mostly OTT. I don't know. There's some noise coming from somewhere. Yeah, it's just a little background, so it's not, yeah, convolution reverb. I use that a lot. I guess I could go over the bass a little bit because I did kind of show it for a second, but so it comes in. Obviously, it comes in through this hardware CV instrument. This guy I'm not using right now. I could show him off a little bit later, but he's supposed to. Well, we'll just solo the bass. It's not very crazy, but. But if we look at the camera, you can see the plasma drive going crazy. I mean, It's doing most of the heavy lifting on this, but I have it cranked out. So then we've just got like a little bit of movement. Now I had the Resident FB. If I mess with him, let me zoom out a bit. Because yeah, the Resident FB. I can. Okay, that's the width. I don't want to change that. Problem is I don't know where I left it, and I messed with it. Oh, okay, that seems right. Anyways, so yeah, Resident FB. There is some automation that I use, like right here, that makes that sort of growly sound. Yeah, you can see how it's moving. That's the CV control through this automation on right here. I've got this automation set up to move this knob, which is kind of hard to see with the camera. Yeah, this knob here. Make a little growl sound there. And then I've got a little, I've got these modulations here. Just got a bunch of EQs where I'm just kind of modulating semi-randomly. I think this one's, yeah, this is on the bar, right? Oh, this is a half note. Never mind. So yeah, I found with the bass, a lot of it just comes down to movement, and then choruses does a lot of heavy lifting because unfortunately, oh, thanks, Still Res. I'll check it out after the stream. I've been trying to find it. I don't even know the guy's name, so I really appreciate it. Yeah. So the unfortunate thing is, even though I've got this Dimension MK3 that I was going to use for the bass, but I have nothing. I don't like in terms of stereo. I can't run stereo through this the plasma drive. There's a lot of I can't run stereo through even the Resonant FB. So what I ended up doing was I did this chorus. It's kind of like towards the end of this patch here. There's a chorus, and that's simply just to give it that stereo width. Because there really was no other way. Like if I turn the chorus off, it sounds alright. I mean, it's just not very. It's very sub heavy, right? But there's not a whole lot in stereo width. But just with this, so there's a little bit more with the chorus. Sometimes I'll record 2 takes and hard pan them for stereo. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Especially if it's like because a lot of this is obviously analog. I would presume that the plasma drive's distortion is not going to be like exactly the same at every take. So you could just do what you're saying, right? Yeah, stack them and do 2 takes. Yep. Yeah, that's a great idea. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on doing like hard takes on like I have bounced a few things here and there like these. I'm not using them, or wait, maybe I am. I'm using this MIDI bounce here for the piano, but that's a VST. But my current workflow, which is not right or wrong, it's just kind of how I'm doing it right now, is like I've kind of just decided to leave the patch in this whole patch in place until I'm done with the song or something, or at least to a point where I'm like, okay, this isn't going to change, but I'm not to the point where I can say, okay, the bass isn't going to change or that pad's not going to change. I haven't fully committed to doing that, which is why I haven't messed with, you know, redoing this patch or anything. Like I'll fiddle with like the, some of the parameters that I can here, right, and I'll tweak CV, but I'm fully like I don't have any more inputs or outputs. I'm waiting for the ES3 and the ES5. I think that might be wrong, but just so I can get more inputs and outputs, and that way I can start using the this VCO2 and the MK3, and then I do have this other guy here. So yeah, I have 3 other oscillators I could use, and I kind of feel bad. Oh, I highly recommend committing things to audio once you're done learning how things work. Yeah. I don't disagree. It's just that well, I'm actually in the process of regain staging everything, and I kind of tend, and this is sort of like me being ADHD, but there's sometimes I just bounce around and I go back to something, or like I'll get a new, some new idea going, and then I'll find out this other thing doesn't quite fit, and I'll have to go back and mess with it. But yeah, some of those, my workflow is not the most it's probably not the most productive, but that's part of the just kind of be creative process, is I'm just kind of messing around and seeing what fits and what doesn't. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty close. Like, I think the bass is probably good enough. The only reason I haven't fully committed to it is there's a second half of the song which I haven't written yet, where I want to open the bass up more, because right now it's very sub heavy, right? There's not a whole lot of top end, but my idea was to open it up like I do in this part, like, and have more movement on the top end. And I don't have that written out yet, right? I have nothing doing that, so I can't just bounce the bass because I don't have any of the any of those keys and stuff set up yet. So yeah, so that's one reason. The pad I could probably bounce and be fine with it, because the only thing that's really being automated, I believe, maybe there's a few things. I could be okay. Never mind. There's a few things, but it's all. What is this CV? What is this for? The hell is this for? What output is that? CV out device. Where's the name? Oh, okay. That's the resonance on Oniri. Okay, so that's the only other thing being automated, hardware wise. So I could bounce it, and it would free up. Let's see, 2 inputs. Sorry, 3 outputs and 2 inputs. Is that right? 3 outputs, because I've got the resonant and the left and right, and then those 2. So all of these cables would be freed up. Yeah, long-term project. Yeah. So sample-based recording to audio is my writing process. Yeah, I just, I have an issue with commitment issues with audio, I guess. Uh, man, I could totally just bounce this. It's like the thing with modular. It's like great because it's so easy just to like patch things and get going and see your ideas kind of come to life very quickly. You kind of get almost like instant gratification. But but if you don't commit, right? If you don't commit to it, in this case, you're kind of stuck with it till you're done, unless you commit and bounce it out to audio. And if you want to get that patch back, well, take a picture, I guess. You can always go back and replace anything. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Well, that's where I'm at. I should commit. Mm. Also, I'm not sure if y'all have Splice or use Splice, but it is awesome. That's how I found these vocals, was through Splice. They have a. Let me see if I can bring it up here. They have this plugin called Bridge. So what it does is you can play. I'm just gonna play a random section of the song. Let's do like the build up or something. Oh, I've got everything muted, or do I? Okay. So I'm just gonna only have Splice here, but it will automatically. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Where'd Splice go? There we go. So you can choose like. So when you like start playing in Bitwig, it will automatically preview that, so you can just like see if it fits or not immediately in your tune. But that's how I got these vocals, was through Splice. And obviously you can like, I was doing A minor, so I can like go and browse and say, hey, I want, if I can remember how to do it in the app, instruments, say I want vocals, I want female vocals, right? I want key of A minor. Bam, right? So you can find.
Dancing around in my tight dress, I'm feeling myself, got them on.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And obviously you can do this with other things, not just like, say I wanted, well, let's just do A minor again. I want piano. Do they have piano? I can't find the word piano. Maybe I can just type it. Piano. Ooh, that's pretty groovy. But yeah, you can find whatever. It's the only thing I don't like about Splice is their subscription model is a bit. I just don't agree with it, because like you pay monthly for a certain number of like credits, right? But if you cancel, you lose your credits. So you're like incentivized to just continually paying into it, unless you like just decide one day, hey, I'm gonna spend all my credits and then cancel. So over the years, I've accumulated like, I don't know how many, what do I, 2,000 credits. So I think most samples are like one credit. Let me see. Which is this one? Yeah, 1 credit, right? So most things are 1 credit. You can sometimes get them cheaper if you like get a whole pack. But like, yeah, I'd have to like go and get like 2,000 samples, or just like some giant pack of samples. So but I think the more useful thing about Splice, aside from the plugin or aside from the samples, is their rent to own stuff is pretty cool. I should have done Bitwig this way. I didn't. If you're gonna get a DAW like Bitwig, I recommend doing it through Splice, because you'll just keep getting the newest version of Bitwig. And if you buy it through Bitwig directly, I think you get a year of free major updates. So whereas yeah, Splice you get it for much longer because I think the rent to own lasts longer than a year for Bitwig. Okay. All right. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do. I was gain staging so earlier, so hopefully I can make the mix sound a little better. So I've got to loop the drop here. Maybe this part. And someone told me that someone I sent the track to said that it sounded off key or out of key. I don't know. Everything tells me it's A minor, but so I don't know why it would be. Like this, the piano. Is that peaking? It is. What is going on here? Something's clipping, but I don't know where. Is it through the compressor? I don't think so. Oof. Okay. Yeah, so I need to. What I'm going to do. Where is this DP meter? I'm actually going to put one in front of it. And this is just so. This one's not. This piano is not. This one's just a pure. This one's actually Keyscape, which is if you're into like really nice pianos, like Keyscape. I always come back to it. Is so good. Spectrasonics. It's expensive, I'll admit, but it's great. It's fantastic. I love it. So I need to get the. Just trying to get this to. Well, that's weird. How is it still peaking? Let me do it over a longer section. Right here, maybe. Oh, that's not gonna work. Yeah, every time you see this, it's going over. I'm still hearing it. Where is it happening? Here, let me kill everything. I bet you it's the RC20 Retro. Oh, okay, the EQ is doing it, I think. Okay. Or maybe it's. Let me do this. Okay, it's because of my EQ. But I should be able to counteract that with the DP meter. In theory, let me turn the RMS window down to like 100 milliseconds. Oh wait, actually I got a better idea. Let's just put K-clip there because it'll see it. Wait, what? I'm just looking at the dBs. Alright, so 4.7. So in theory, I can get this down. This minus 4.7 on here should. Still hear it. Man, this is annoying. Maybe I'll. Alright, there we go. The compressor right after the EQ will fix that. Alright, let's get this back to 0 dB is what I want. Yeah, okay, that's what I did. This guy needs to be turned off. Yeah, I'm just trying to get it to 0. So this needs to go at the end of the chain now, so I can. This can go away. Master. Yeah, but that's not what's causing the clipping. We can see here, like, yeah, it's getting clipped by 1.6. The whole 2. Oh, this guy. I'll explain this. This is Blue Cat's. It allows me to change. So I actually have. This is part of the whole gain staging thing. Is on the listen on basically every instrument. I have this Blue Cats guy, and what the whole reason for this is it allows me to change the gain, all of them, and have them linked together. I think this is at like 3.8. Let me put that back up there, right? So, and what it does on the master, or in this case the listen bus, is I have the opposite occurring. There's another instance of this guy. So it's not exactly 1-to-1, but if I can find the damn thing, here it is. So this guy, you see how he's negative 3.6? So they're linked together. So, and they're all relative to each other. So if I set this to 0, I don't know why this one's showing. Let me unlink it. Undo there. There we go. Wait. Unlink. Get this to 0. Then link it. There we go. So yeah, you'll see they're linked together. And so if I raise everything by 3 dB, it's gonna, yeah. And the reason for that, I'm trying to do clip to zero technique, which is I guess Baphometrics didn't create it, but he kind of formalized it more or less. If you look him up on YouTube, Baphometrics, he's got a whole Google Docs on it too. Basically, the idea is, instead of like, if you want to get your sounds loud, like the traditional approach is like you give yourself a lot of headroom, like 6 dB of headroom, right, on the master, and then you try and boost that. But the problem with that approach is you have to, like your transients, you have to chop those off, and it really overworks the mastering limiter. It's like just sitting there trying to like crank everything up and chop off those transients. So clip to zero, really what you're doing is you try and gain stage everything such that all of your instruments are peaking at 0 dB, right? So you're basically chopping those transients very early in the mix, so that once you actually get to the master, you don't have those like tons of peaks that you need to chop off, and you have more headroom to then push into. So yeah, hard clip limiter on every group pretty much. I think the only place where you probably wouldn't do, like, obviously, like, it sounds horrible for the piano, like you can hear it clipping. So for most things like transients, like kicks and snares, hard clipper for sure. You can push those, and you can crank them really hard too. Like you can, you know, crank the gain on the. I love K clip. That's what I use, is K clip. You can crank the gain on K clip, like this one. I've got it up 9 dB, and it still sounds fine. I can get it really loud. But on like the pads, I would never put a hard clipper on it, because you would just hear the clipping. You wouldn't, that would distract from the actual sound. So on this one, I don't even think I have a limiter. I have a limiter on there instead of a clipper. So whether or not you use a soft clip or a hard clip or a limiter just depends. But the idea is the same. You're just trying to tame the big transients. Yep, exactly. Strings, piano, keep it gentle. Yep. So anyways, that's what I'm trying to do, is gain stage everything right now, and the piano is kind of giving me a bit of a pain right now. Because you can hear it's like hard clipping right now, right? It's very annoying. This guy's probably not helping. Actually, let me just set everything back to 0. I don't know what I'm making this harder myself. You brought up a good point. I need to just make sure nothing's driving. So I'm gonna have everything at 0 dB. Wait, why is nothing playing now? but it's not very loud now. Everything else is way louder than it. Alright, so we'll bring down the so much fun. What I could do is, oh, you know what I could do? I could I already have so many track spacers. I could just sidechain the bass to the piano. Let's just try it. It's probably a dumb idea, but let's just do it anyways. Why can't I actually find the... I just want the overall out. No. Why can't you just give me the end of the chain? Oh. Wait, I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. I'm sure I can't side change it myself. What am I doing? Oh. Keys, we want the piano post. Okay. My computer's taking a crap. What's going on? One moment. Easier balance out mixer. Yeah, probably. Am I clipping on the master? I keep seeing OBS peak, but I can't tell if I'm actually clipping on the master. Yeah, pretty much when you commit to audio, you're essentially rendering it, and you know you can't go you can go back to the original depending on how you render it, but yeah, once you commit it to a WAV file, for example, it's just playing that sample back, right? So you can do that in Bitwig. Like I can click on this guy and go to oops. You've got bounce in place or bounce. I forget the difference between the two. I think bounce creates a new track. I think bounce in place keeps the effect chain in order. I don't remember. All right, Rings. You're still going, eh? I'm just not happy with the piano. I don't know why. I may not save any of the changes I did. Oh, one little thing about bass I should cover is yeah, one little thing about bass I should cover here is so because I have everything's coming from the modular, right? Like it's just plates or plats going through plasma drive, going to resonant FB, right? I get all of, you know, the sub, mids, and highs in a single, you know, output or signal, right? It's all in one chain. And there is a problem with that in the sense that the sub, especially when I run it through other stuff, is going to become not mono, right? Because now it's like if like I run it through, you'll see in Bitwig I've got the chorus, right? I've got this chorus going on, and I've got some convolution reverb here a little bit too. I've got a whole bunch of like stereo effects. So I've got two options. I can either split the so there's this multi-band effects plugin here, and what it does is it just splits the spectrum or splits your lows, mids, and highs into different chains, right? So I can process those separately. And what I ended up doing is I want to make sure my sub is completely mono. So all I do is I come in here on the low side and I set the crossover to like around 200 hertz, and then I just flip that to mono, and then I leave everything else in place. So like if I just play if I turn the mono off, See, it has stereo. You don't want that because like sub is always mono. Track 1 take for sub, low pass and keep mono. 2 more takes for stereo and high. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a way to do it. I could have also immediately split the mono at the very start of the chain, but I do like the movement. I do like if I just, like a pure sine wave is going to be kind of lame. So I do like the sub to have a little bit of like more dynamics. Although you still have you have issues with phase, right, as well. So I believe let's just look at where is it? What is that plugin called? I think I have it on this Listen Bus. Vision 4X. Another great tool. So if we go into Vision 4X and we go into the low end focus, we can actually look at so you can actually see that glide, this glide right here. Okay, right there. It's not very actually obvious. Let me just do. Where is it? You can, you see it glide up a little bit there. So if I had this in, where is it? If I took out, if I just mute this up, yeah. So when it does the slide, there's actually almost no sub because I guess it like barely hits it and it slides up. Yeah, and you can hear it. What if I take the mono out? Yeah. Maybe I could reduce this crossover. I did 200 hertz. Seems to work fine, but anyways, I not really sure. I think I just got to redo the gain staging on this. I'm gonna save this take as 3. Yeah, I think that about does it for the stream. I'll play the track one more time, but I have to rethink some things and maybe take your advice and bounce some of this stuff to wave and commit it. But I'm stubborn. I'm still stubborn. All right. Unmute that. Oh, I was playing around with some horns earlier too, but I ended up not keeping them. All right.
Hard to find.
right, guys. I'm calling it. Y'all have a good night.